In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape our sight.
That those who worship evil's might,
Beware our power. Green Lantern's light.
It's the best. That gives me chills every time.
It is
I
great.
Love it.
Welcome
great.
back to Geek Out in Old Town Burleson. As always, I am your favorite bearded hero, Charles, and this is my sidekick. I got this man, Chandler.
Hello.
As you can imagine, we are going to, with that intro, we are going to talk about Green Lantern after we talk about some new DC Comics.
Brand new.
And here's the great thing about DC Comics today.
What's that?
I don't have to ham-fistedly force in discussing Death of Superman.
True, we could just bring it up.
I just get to bring it up normal. So,
yeah.
Yay!
It's good stuff. 30th anniversary.
So let's jump into our DC books for the week. Lots of variants, and not just is Death of Superman back this week, but also the 90s, because somebody decided it was a good idea to not only bring back Wildcats #1 in a limited series, but also give us a foil embossed cover for Wildcats.
Good stuff, honestly. Yeah.
And a really cool Grifter is his name, right?
Yeah, Grifter. Grifter's like a really good character, actually.
He is a really good character.
Yeah, I like
and
Grifter.
Grifter's back, so that's cool.
Great.
I
don't remember her name.
I don't remember her name either because I quit reading Wildcats before most of you people were born. But that's a cool cover. It's really pretty.
It actually is a good cover. Yeah. This looks like Art Germ.
Holy shit! Yeah, I think that is Art Germ. Yep, that's Art Germ.
Yep.
Here's another one. I assume that's a wraparound, probably connecting variant, some shit.
Yeah, I think it's
really cool.
Yeah.
And we
They're
got
also bringing back Justice Society because the movie.
Yep.
That's mostly it.
The New Golden Age.
Yeah.
With we're gonna talk about that guy today too.
Yeah, Alan Scott.
Alan Scott.
A character that 5 people care about.
Yep. And a cool variant right there.
You ever read The Golden Age, the James Robinson book from the 90s? It's like reintroducing. It was like Watchmen, but the Justice Society.
I don't think so.
No, it was like a 4-issue mini. It was really good. It was like right before he did his
Justice
big Starman
Society,
thing.
I shit on Justice Society a lot.
They're great.
But they are great.
Yeah,
I just shit on them because
no one cares about them.
Yes, because nobody cares about them. Like that's the whole reason
But they are good.
That's the whole reason why I'm shitting on them for the Black Adam movie is because
Man, you remember when Morrison did 7 Soldiers? Like he actually tried to bring back the 7 Soldiers of Victory. It happened for like a blip. It's pretty good.
Now I will say, man, we've gotten through 2 new books with no bats. But don't worry.
We got through 1 new book with no bats.
Wildcats and Golden Age. But book number 3, we're back to the bats. Batman Incorporated #2. And a really cool gold
Foil
Death Stroke foil embossed cover.
What's his name? Ghostmaker.
Oh, is it Ghostmaker?
I think so.
It's
hard to tell.
Does that not? I mean,
it looks like I'm pretty sure it's Ghostmaker though.
Okay,
because it's Deathstroke. Yeah.
But like, you can barely tell on this embossed cover.
No, you really can't. What? Just make it about Knight and Squire, like how the original one was. I love Knight and Squire. They're great.
This is a kind of cool cover.
That's not bad. Yeah,
it's not bad.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
But another variant for Batman Incorporated.
Yeah. Batman Incorporated's kind of cool, actually.
Guess what? So we're at 3 books, and only one of them's been a Batman book.
Yeah.
But guess what? Number 4,
Batman book.
I Am Batman.
Yes.
Got Lucas instead of Bruce though. So
he's a good character.
He is a really good character. He's fighting Sinestro in this one. That's kind of cool.
I know, right? I need to catch up on his book.
I do. His book is really good. Blood Syndicate number 6.
That's very 90s, but good 90s.
It is good 90s stuff.
Milestone. Yeah.
Oh crap! Back to bats.
Batman again.
Batman again.
I got
Batman
an
Urban Legends.
Look at that cover. That cover's nice.
That is a pretty sweet cover.
Yeah. Jorge Fornes, incredible artist. Really just deserves all the recognition in the world. I love his stuff.
Give you 3 guesses of what's next.
It's Batman.
It's Batman.
It's Batman. Yeah.
Batman versus Robin. Actually, this
that's
cover,
a good cover
this
too.
is a really good early '90s homage style cover. That's legit.
I love how look at you kind of see the grain on it.
Yeah,
like that's not damaging. That's actually
they're actually made it look kind of aged, like those '90s books like would come 5 seconds after you bought them.
Pretty much.
Those books were like really hard to keep in good condition.
Yeah.
And we got issue 3. This is just the A cover.
Oh, Damian Batman.
Damian Batman.
When Damian's Batman, he looks like the Antichrist, and I really like it.
He does. That's kind of wicked.
You ever read Batman 666?
I have not.
it's about future Batman, and it's Damian, and he's basically burned Gotham to the ground, and he's a total psycho, and literally they call him like the demon incarnate, like it's not the demon's head or anything, like he is he's Antichrist Batman.
Okay, so why
It's
is
awesome.
So in our Batman history, we've had many people pick up the mantle after something's happened to
Yeah.
him. You've had Dick do it. Dick was the first person
Dick's
to do
done
it
it,
during
yeah.
Nightfall.
Yeah.
Tim's
Tim's done it before,
Tim's
too.
done it.
Damian's done it.
But why is it that the two people he chose?
Yeah.
Because he chose Damian to take over at one point.
Yeah.
He burns Gotham to the ground.
Yeah.
And he chose Azrael to take it. And he
And
also
he burned Gotham to the ground.
burned Gotham to the
Yeah.
ground. So I don't think we should
Why?
let Bruce Wayne make choices anymore.
No, Bruce. Well, one, bad dad, horrible father,
Horrible dad.
horrible dad. And when you think about it, he's kind of made bad choices the entire time.
I mean, really, he has. I mean,
Yeah.
if you got an unending access to money,
Yeah.
and
So
you
much
choose
money.
to dress like a giant flying rodent to beat the
Yeah,
shit out of people
probably
instead
not.
of going, maybe if we did some reform in this city.
Yeah.
I mean,
fund reform.
yeah,
Healthcare.
I mean, he pays to keep Arkham open, but does he?
He
I think
does,
he only
doesn't he?
does that. I think he only does that so he has that also is explanation of why the shitheads always break out of Gotham or out of Arkham. So it's like you could upgrade the security because it's not like you're
Upgrade
not on
security,
the board.
upgrade
Upgrade
get
the-
better
yeah,
doctors.
I mean,
ones who
I mean,
like at least
how
five
long
of those
did-
doctors are murderers.
Yeah, I was like,
too.
how long
You know?
did Hugo run the place and,
Like
and just
forever.
create?
He probably still runs it. Honestly, yeah.
It's like
He's the worst.
If he didn't create them, he just made them better bad guys, and then he
Yeah.
did create several of them.
Well, yeah, there's that whole thing where he just took a bunch of patients and made monster men out of them, and he does that like every few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
half the time he's making deals with like Joker and stuff. He's horrible, horrible guy.
Batman is Bruce Wayne is in fact just the backdoor bad guy of everything. I'm like, you just don't
Yeah.
realize it.
Yeah. That's kind of what the new arc's about.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
Oh, and in case you thought we were done talking about Batman books, we're not. Detective Comics 38.
You got a facsimile
is
for the first appearance of
facsimile
Robin.
For the first appearance of Robin.
Really good, really good. Look at him bursting through. That's great.
Do we need to go? Do you want to do the facsimile run like we normally do, or we'll just-
Yeah, we've done enough. We've done enough.
This book came out originally like 6 months after the last one, so it's
Yeah.
not like it's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be any different.
What number did he appear in?
38.
30. Man, that's not that far. 11 issues later.
Yeah, and we
That's
probably,
awesome.
and I mean, it probably has the same ads and the same artwork. And
Oh,
the same
pretty
coolness,
much.
so.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this isn't technically a Bat book, but there's a Batman on the cover, and he's in it. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths number 6.
Yes,
This
it's still going. The events.
It's still going.
Yeah, Pariah.
It started strong.
I didn't catch up.
That's all I'm gonna say. You got
That's all I'm gonna say.
John fighting Doomsday on there.
That's actually a pretty good cover.
That is
Yeah.
a pretty good cover. I'll give it to him. John and Starfire fighting. That's Starfire, right?
Yeah, that's Starfire. Yeah.
Cool little alternate costume for Starfire.
Who doesn't love Starfire? She's great.
Starfire is great.
Fantastic, yeah.
Hey, guess what? This book doesn't have Batman on the cover.
Nice.
It's The Flash, fastest man alive.
Fighting the turtle.
Issue 3 of 3 for this limited series. So regular Flash is still going on, but this is just a mini series.
That's a prelude to the movie. Yeah.
Oh, official movie tie-in comic.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
They're giving him some history before the movie comes out. So they're not just like, here's Flashpoint, first thing he's ever done. Because, like, that's
Who
dumb.
even believes what's going to happen in this Flash movie anymore? I don't. I mean,
It's
at this
nuts.
point, is it even going to get released?
I mean, yeah, they'll release. They spent too much money on it.
Bro, they spent a shit ton of money on that. Well, you know what's happening at WB, right?
Yeah. The whole Discovery
They
thing and all
don't
that.
have the money to release movies.
Yeah.
That's why everything either got canceled or backed up.
The Batgirl one doesn't make sense mostly because they were
No.
putting it on HBO like from the get-go.
Yeah.
So why?
Well, I mean, it still does
Yeah.
cost money to release that.
Well, sure.
But it would
yeah,
cost a lot
yeah.
less.
Apparently, it was like low, but like it cost like $80 million. That
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, it was
That's-
inexpensive, but at the
Yeah.
same
They were
time,
post-production.
and no, it was done.
Yeah, it was like done.
It was
yeah.
done. It was ready to release, but they decided that the distribution cost of it was too high. So
Yeah.
rather than pushing it into FY next year, they just
Yeah.
canceled it.
Ridiculous.
Tax write-off. was the X, but even a lot of the fiscal even a lot of the fiscal analysts are like, that's not a good tax write-off, bro. You should have just released it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's like the Swamp Thing thing all over again.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Swamp Thing was canceled before the first episode ever aired. This reason
know,
I never
right?
watched it.
It's actually pretty solid.
I heard it was
It's
really
pretty
good. I
solid,
didn't
yeah.
watch it because I was
Pretty
like,
solid.
I'm gonna really like this because Swamp Thing's really easy to like.
If we talk about the
and-
CW DC shows, it'd probably be in like the top 3 or 4. It's actually really good. It's really good. They have Phantom Stranger in that shit.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
bad.
I might end up having to watch it. I'm sure it's on.
Blue Devil was in that.
Blue Devil was in
Yeah.
it? Okay, that's
pretty cool.
That's some
It's pretty
deep
cool.
cuts right there.
Oh yeah, Madame Xanadu had a couple episodes too. Like they
It was only 12
did it.
episodes long, man.
I know,
That's
yeah.
a lot to cram into
They
12
did.
episodes.
Yeah, they did a good
so,
job.
anyway.
Good stuff.
Hey, this isn't a bad book either. I actually really like this book.
a
James
really good book.
Tinian's Nice House on the Lake.
One of the best horror books he's doing, honestly.
It really
It's
is.
great. Really good.
And that's saying something because he's doing like 3 or 4 different horror books.
Oh, he's got
and-
more than that.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
had like 7 in the past couple of years.
But
yeah.
this is a really quality book.
really
if you're not
good.
reading it,
Eisner
jump
winner
on.
too.
It is an Eisner winner.
Yeah, that's great.
John doing some farm work with Daddy and
Man,
Why we
man,
got- why we-
look at them.
Clark Nipples.
Clark Nipples all day.
Clark Nipples.
Yeah. He's doing great. Good
Superman,
on
son of Kal-El. Jonathan doing some yard work with his daddy and his grandparents. That's great.
He has returned after the Warworld saga.
He has.
good stuff.
All right, so if you look behind me, there is the black bag edition
Superman's back.
of the OG Death of Superman, Superman 75. Now, I will tell you,
That's not Superman 75.
that's. Oh, is that the 30th anniversary? You
Yeah,
already,
it's
never mind.
still
You already
the
did the wall.
anniversary special.
Okay, so I do have one of those over there. But anyway, whatever. So here
It's the
is
special.
the reprint special edition of Superman 75, 30th
Yes.
anniversary.
Still a good cover.
Got that classic cover from the newsstand edition. One of the greatest and most impactful issues of comics ever written. Y'all have heard me rant about it, so I'm not going to go too deep in it. But if you've never read this story, it's
good.
a wonderful story. Get the 30th anniversary so you get the extra bits and pieces. Pick up a trade if you've never actually read the whole thing because it is a heartbreaking book.
It really is.
And you also got to
it really
realize,
is.
like, in this day and age, it's not so heartbreaking whenever a character dies in comics.
No, yeah, it was taken a lot more
Because-
seriously back then.
Because A, nobody stays dead anymore. And
No.
B, there was no internet to tell us immediately that he's not dead, he's
yeah,
just
give it
sleeping.
3 issues, he'll be fine.
Yeah, it was more than 3 issues. It was like
It was like
2 years.
5. It was,
it was about a year.
They brought him back within the year because
He
that was
did,
the thing.
yeah.
It was within the same.
Yeah,
year.
it was within the same year. So he died in February of 1992.
Probably came back in like
and
October.
I'm pretty sure it was the October issue was whenever he came back.
And he had the guns, and he had the mullet, and he was a black suit, and it wasn't very good.
The black what?
No, the mullet, and the suit. I don't like the suit. He's
I
got the
can't-
little wrist.
I'm
wristy cuffs.
fiscally challenged. Or not fiscally. I'm follically challenged. I'm
Yeah.
also fiscally challenged. I run a comic book shop. I'm follically challenged. So instead of having a Superman mullet, I have a super beard.
Yeah. Saying just Superman with a
yeah.
mullet, not my vibe. No, not.
Well, that's
nah.
because that's because you're not from the 80s like me.
But Superman should have a spit curl and a smile.
He had a spit curl and a mullet.
He did not. He had just a full on. He looked like
He did.
he looked like
A little
John
swirly.
Wick.
The swirly was there, I promise you.
I still don't like the suit. Like I like the
Okay,
black
so
suit.
the black
but he's
suit-
got little weird wristy cuffs, and I don't care for it.
It made sense in the story. It did.
Sure.
They were there
I
for
know
a
it
reason.
did.
And like he hadn't gotten all of his power yet, but he had to
No, yeah.
establish himself.
That's
as,
why he had guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Weird.
Kryptonian guns.
They were Kryptonian guns. Yeah.
They were Kryptonian guns. So
Weird book. It's a
yeah,
good book though.
it is.
Yeah.
It starts really weird, and then it gets really good, and then it goes through a. And then it
Yeah.
gets really good again.
They bring
and
Darkseid
then
into it or at some point too.
briefly.
Yeah,
But he
briefly,
didn't
yeah.
really affect.
Yeah, he didn't
anything.
really. Yeah.
Uh,
a weird
Mullets
book.
never make sense. No, I am going to say that the only 2 people that ever have worn mullets acceptably is Superman and Billy Ray Cyrus. Like, that's it. Everybody
Sure.
else needs a fucking haircut. Even they need a haircut, but
Oh, yeah.
I'll give them 2 a pass because they at least
Kind
made
of
it
the
look
thing.
cool
Yeah.
at the time. Mind
At the
you,
time.
this is 1992 we're also talking about.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
things
Even
are,
then they had it
like,
for,
if you
like,
gave me
a couple
Mullet
years.
Superman now, I'd be like, no, bro.
That's dumb.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nope, let's not do that. But, so we have the 30th anniversary, with that rant, we have the 30th anniversary Death of Superman special.
Yes.
With this very cool homage cover.
Yeah, they're including
from-
John Kent in a lot
and
of it.
John
when he was a
Kent.
kid.
So,
yeah.
so this is 5 standalone stories, 4 or 5
think
standalone
so.
stories.
Yeah.
And one of them is Jonathan Kent learning in school that his daddy died.
Yeah.
And
I think that one's the Dan Jurgens one, too.
yes, that one
Yeah.
is written and illustrated by Dan Jurgens, the same dude who did that.
Yeah, did the Death of Superman.
Did the Death of Superman.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, full circle, 30 years later, getting the original artist doing some doing a tearjerker story about his son. So you have the A cover with Doomsday and Supes fighting and John not knowing what's going on. Yeah. And then you've got the waving golden Superman flag symbol.
That's the Matina one from the 1 in 25, just kind of covered up. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got the
Jim Lee Doomsday
Jim
cover.
Lee Doomsday cover, which is really cool. The 1 in 50 for this is a black and white sketch variant of this, and you just see the brutality of Doomsday, like just
Holding down
crushing Superman.
Yeah.
And it was pretty brutal. I mean, it wasn't that graphic whenever it first came out, but it was still
Not
really
quite.
brutal.
It was very brutal.
And
It
you
was
got
pretty
yet
mean.
another homage cover. So
the Funeral for a Friend
The Funeral
cover.
for a Friend cover. So what's kind of cool is the original black bag, which we do have one running around here in the store somewhere still.
Yeah, somewhere.
The original black bag came with an armband, a postage stamps, whatever.
Yeah, true.
Some trading cards and a poster of Funeral for a Friend, which I still have it framed. It's in storage now, but it was framed and in my house from 1992 until about 2015.
Yeah.
That just tells you how ridiculous I am. And my Nightfall 500 or Batman 500, I think it was, where they first debuted the Jean-Paul Valley Nightfall
the
Batman.
Batsuit.
That was also polybagged and came with a poster, and that poster was in my house until like 2018.
Nice. Nice. That's what's up.
I hung on to 3 cool things whenever I was a kid. Those 2 posters and my Ed 209 action figure.
Ed 209's the best.
Yes.
Defeated
Anyway.
by stairs.
Stairs.
Good stuff.
I'm also, just being a disabled veteran, I get defeated by stairs quite regularly,
Totally
too.
fair. Last cover is
and-
Dan Mora.
Last cover is Dan Mora, and it's
Love Dan
John
Mora.
sitting on this very pretty statue of his daddy.
Yeah.
It's very cool stuff.
Dan Mora, best artist in the business. Guy's
and-
amazing.
And the other cover is another polybag edition, which what's cool is I couldn't tell from a distance that it wasn't the original polybag because, like I said, we do have some in the store. Even the back looks the same. The only way you can tell the difference is that 30 logo.
Yep.
And that 30 logo.
The
and this
armband
one-
has the 30 logo on it.
and
too.
the armband does.
Yeah.
So no poster in this one. No postage stamps or collector's cards.
But it does have an armband.
But it does have an armband with this new 30th anniversary logo on it. So
You know, in the Justice League animated series, they did their own kind of Death of Superman story. And when it's at like the wake for Superman, all the Justice Leaguers are wearing black armbands.
sweet.
Yeah, it's a nice little homage. It's really
Yeah, it
really
really
good. Yeah.
But that's all the new DC comics for this week. So we have
the trades.
a couple of trades. We got this cute all ages adorableness, Diana and Nubia, Princesses of the Amazon,
Yeah.
by
it's good
Victoria Ying. Very cool. You've got
stuff. Catwoman
a very
by Teeny
shiny,
Howard.
a very shiny Catwoman.
This is the newer run by Teeny Howard.
Yep, with some
yeah.
excellent artwork.
You would know her from Excalibur fame and co-writing X Swords.
I would say X of Swords, yay, but I wouldn't quite.
Excalibur, it had its moments.
It did.
Yeah, it was all right.
Do you like shitty superheroes?
Oh, yes, I do.
One Star Squadron is for you.
Yes, it is a book by Mark Russell of the Flintstones fame. He is an incredible writer, very satirical, and this book is no different. It's really good.
Yep.
Very
And you
satirical.
got like Red Tornado and Plastic Man
Mm-hmm.
picking up trash.
Power Girl. Yeah, it's a book.
a
It's a
book.
weird one, but it's
It's
really
weird, yeah.
good. Really good.
And we've got Miss Wonder Girl
Yeah.
hardback. Wonder Girl Homecoming, first volume, and is going to have Wonder Girl 1 through 7 annual, Future State, and Infinite Frontier.
That's actually a lot
of really good stuff in there.
Yeah, Joel
Actually really
Jones is an amazing writer and artist.
Future State had some really cool stuff in it, and some hot garbage.
Like, who cares? Like, this was good.
Wonder Girl was good.
The Action comic stuff was pretty good that he was doing. And I Am Batman.
I Am Batman was exceptional.
And they still make the Gotham one?
The Gotham one is still going. It's weird.
Yeah.
It started strong, so I guess that's why they kept it. I don't know if it's still good.
Apparently, yeah.
Cool.
Apparently, it's still pretty good.
And so this is probably the second coolest thing, because the coolest thing is a Black Bag Superman anniversary, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But this is probably the second coolest thing, and any of y'all know me, you know I love my Absolute editions, and my Absolute, because they are the best way to read a comic. A lot of people don't ever unbox these and don't ever actually read them because they're so expensive and they're just collector's items.
They are expensive.
But I freaking love reading them because that's the format. As I think we've done this before, but we'll do it again. That's a normal comic.
Yeah.
And that's an Absolute.
Big.
So it's bigger. You get better detailing with your pictures. It's more like the artist's finish.
Yeah, yeah.
The artist's vision. And outside of the re-edited, or outside of the remastered edition with larger pictures, there's always a bunch of extra content in the back of them with some extra cool stuff. And this one, because as you can tell by the diamond plating, it is quite metallic.
Yeah.
So what is it?
It's Dark Knight's Metal.
Dark Knight's Metal Absolute
Such a
Edition.
good book. That book is amazing.
It is a book.
It's a great book.
It is a great book.
Yeah.
It gave us some really cool characters. Red Death, Batman Who Laughs. Yeah. But it's one of the coolest Absolute editions that I've seen.
Beautiful.
It's
that's really nice.
Textured diamond plate.
You know what those are called, like, in official canon?
What?
Anti-crisises. Yeah, like metal and death metal. It's not a crisis event. It's an anti-crisis.
Okay. So you got your little synopsis with the piece of paper, but whenever you take the plastic off, the piece of paper just kind of floats around, so I was sticking on the inside of the pages. Yeah. But I use it as a bookmark on mine. Yeah, so Dark Knights, Metal, Absolute Edition. Big, awesome, heavy chonkin' boy with the slipcase and pretty artwork. So
probably the best DC event in the past
several years.
Yeah. Honestly,
yeah, I would probably say Flashpoint was the most recent thing that was maybe Blackest Night.
I'd say that's better than either of those. Yeah.
I would say it's better than Flashpoint.
I'd say it's better than Blackest Night, too.
Ooh. Yeah. It's definitely better than Brightest Day.
I'd say it's got more impact on the world, too.
I think it does have more impact because Batman Who Laughs is very identifiable. Necron, not so much.
Nah, not as much as you'd hope. Neither is Black Hand, because he's a loser.
Black Hand is a straight-up loser.
Sucks.
That's how Necron was able to manipulate him.
Batman Who Laughs put his brain inside Dr. Manhattan's body, and that's a threat right there.
Yeah, that's you got the intelligence of Batman with the terrible decision-making of the Joker and the...
Dude, they brought back Superboy Prime only to
power.
Make fun of him and beat him up, and it was great. Those books are good.
They are.
Batman has a son who's a starfish. That's a thing in those books. It's great. You took some notes.
Just minor ones.
I took some notes.
You took notes? This guy took fucking notes, y'all. We're here for
I just marked some years and some numbers.
I did too.
Everything else.
Yeah, pretty much. So Green Lantern. Now that we've gone over the books, we're
going to talk about Green Lantern.
We're going to talk about Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So
only the one color today. We might dabble in the other colors.
We'll dabble in the other colors, but we absolutely.
What's your favorite Green Lantern color?
Like my favorite lantern?
Like what's your favorite from the color wheel of Green Lanterns? Because there's 7 or 8 of them.
There's 10.
There's 10. Hold on. We got green, willpower, yellow's fear, orange is avarice, / greed. Red is anger. Blue is hope. The indigo ones are hippies. I can't remember. Of course they are hippies. White's life. Black is death. Oh, and pink is love. Oh, that's 10. Yeah. My bad. I can see.
It's okay. And technically now there's 11 because there's a gold lantern ring now.
Oh, boo. No.
The gold lantern ring is goofy.
Yeah.
To wield a gold lantern ring.
Yeah.
you have to have never experienced hate or some crazy bullshit like that. I don't remember. It's wacky. Gold lanterns are. Yeah, it's if I wasn't using my phone, I would tell you exactly what Gold Lantern. I just remember reading Gold Lantern whenever they introduced Gold Lantern about 2 years ago.
Oh, it's
And
one of the
then-
recent ones.
Yeah, and then whenever they were like, "This is what you have to do to wield it," I'm like, "That's silly."
It's comics.
The
all of it's
character is
dumb.
cool. Yeah, it's all dumb, but we have a very high bar for dumb, and if I say it's dumb, it's probably dumb.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
OG original lantern ring was not even a lantern ring to begin
It's a
with.
magic ring.
No, not quite.
It is magic.
It is magic.
It is
but,
magic. It's for sure magic.
But the ring did not come first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it was a lantern, wasn't it?
in
That was like on a-
in
yeah.
All American Comics number 16, which premiered in July of 1940. I'm not sure if it was actually July or if that's just comic dates that we
Yeah,
always talk
comic
about.
dates are
But
bizarre.
the July 1940 issue of All American Comics introduced us to Alan Scott,
Yes.
who, after a railroad accident,
That's right. Yeah.
received a magic lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And the magic lantern had magic powers.
Like making little green things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good stuff.
the lantern created the ring.
Yes, that's right.
He created
Yeah.
he used the lantern to create the ring so he
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have to carry around the lantern.
Yes.
And then he had to charge it once every day, and it could make anything that could come to his mind.
Yeah.
Except for one thing.
Wood.
Wood.
His weakness was wood.
His weakness was
It's
wood.
kind of embarrassing.
There are way
yeah.
too many jokes for a semi-friendly, family-friendly show for us to make that Alan Scott couldn't make wood, but he could make anything else that he wanted.
Yeah. It's like if you're fighting in a lumberyard, you're screwed. It doesn't make any sense. It's really
it's kind
dumb.
of silly.
Yeah.
But he
He's not a bad character though. I
no,
like
he's
Alan
really
Scott.
not. He has really good character development, lots of great
He's
stuff.
an early gay character as well in comics too. Yeah, which is
So that's why his wood is his weakness.
that makes sense.
But no. Alan Scott, he was superheroing in the New York City area, and most of his baddies were all humans. He didn't have a whole lot of supernatural, crazy supervillains, with the exception of Vandal Savage.
Did he come from Green Lantern
Yeah.
books? What the? That's bizarre.
From the 1940s.
Yeah, I know he's been around for like a long time. Yeah.
And the other one that kind of surprised me, Solomon Grundy.
No, what?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yep.
I love Grundy. Grundy's
great. Grundy is great.
Yeah.
He was a founding member of the JSA, the Justice Society of America,
Yeah. Along with Dr. Fate and
yep.
some others.
where we
Others.
the D team for Justice League.
Yeah.
But they abandoned the character in 1951.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
So they stopped with the Green Lanterns, with Green Lantern, and in the 90s, Alan Scott returned as Sentinel.
Oh, Sentinel. That's terrible.
I mean, that's all I'm going to say about
That's not very
that
good.
because
Yeah, it's not very
it
good.
was during the dark ages of DC books. It was after Death and Nightfall, and all the good writers
Yeah.
ran away because Image was giving them better deals.
Pretty much, yeah, and it also the 90s was bad. Basically, like let's say 93 to 99.
The 90s were great for music and movies, and shit for comics.
Yeah.
With the exception of Nightfall and Death of Superman.
Yeah, like Nightfall, Death of Superman, up till Marvel Knights, everything in there sucked. Pretty much.
Pretty much.
is
So
what
that's
it
a good 5 to 7 years of trash.
Of bad stuff. Yeah.
Next, in 1959, so
Yeah.
8 years later, in showcase number 22, September 1959, we got the person who 95% of all people think about whenever you say Green Lantern. What's his name?
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan.
He's great.
Air Force
Hal
test pilot.
Yes.
Cocky bastard.
His father cut the sky open
Yeah.
and then died.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So that's that. So you had Hal Jordan. in 1959. In the
Changed everything, really.
Changed everything.
The whole backstory of
new
Oa
backstory.
and Guardians
Yep.
and
We
like
got
the
actual
Green Lantern
cool
Corps.
stuff. Yeah.
Gil Kane was one of the best artists of the time.
He's no
too.
longer just a dude doing his thing. Now
Yeah.
he's part of a whole intergalactic police force.
He's a space cop. That's what Green Lantern's supposed to be. Is a space
ACAP.
cop. Yeah. I like the
Green
thing
Lantern's
about that is the Green Lantern Corps itself are good people for the most part.
Yes.
But the Guardians who run them are the
shit.
worst ever. They're terrible.
Because their main job is to make sure that the universe is dealt with, and they don't care about the person.
Exactly.
They care about, well, is everything going to be okay? Cool, nuke the planet. We don't care.
Pretty much. Yeah, they're awful, which is why I think there's one good one.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
The little blue guy with
little blue guy.
Little blue guy.
There's one good one, and the rest of them are shit.
They are shitty blue
I think
gremlins.
most of them are dead now.
Yeah.
As
Well,
they should be.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff
yeah.
that happens. Yeah.
So in the 80s, we got Mr. Kyle Rayner.
Oh, it was the 90s.
Was it?
Yeah, it's definitely 90s.
No, it's 80s.
No, it was the 90s.
You sure?
Oh, yeah. What was that? Green Lantern Volume 3, number 48. It was definitely...
Okay, no, it was definitely 90s. Yeah.
Because, like,
So,
what
okay,
happened was...
what happened
we
was...
skipped a couple.
We
There's
did,
Guy
we did.
Gardner in
We
the
skipped Guy
60s.
Gardner.
Guy Gardner sucks.
Guy
but
Gardner...
He is a good character.
Guy Gardner is...
Yeah. He's got a bowl cut.
He's my favorite Lantern because
he
he
really?
sucks so bad.
Well, yeah.
He is like that. He's that shitbag that you want to love.
He's like the football player that you knew who had, like, the lowest IQ, and, like, you were only friends with him for appearances. He's that guy.
Yeah, Guy Gardner, he was supposed to, so because his willpower was so great, in the lore of Lanterns, him and Hal were in close proximity to each other whenever
Abin
Sur came and died.
Yeah, came and died on our planet.
Literally, the ring was... Hal was closer to the ring. That's the only reason why Hal got the ring and not,
which is
and
so
not
dumb.
Guy.
Because, like, man, it's like, oh, do you want this guy who's, like, arrogant but pretty good? Or do you want this guy who's all arrogant and bad?
Actually, so early Guy Gardner was not shitty.
Sure. Yeah,
Early Guy
sure.
Gardner was okay,
Yeah.
but then he gets put in a coma and practically
bowl
dies
cut,
and
and
gets a bowl cut,
the
and then he
worst.
wakes up and he's just a shitty, horrible person.
Yeah.
And continues to be such, and then has like good moments, and then so he has a Green Lantern ring, loses it, gets a Yellow Lantern ring,
Yes.
breaks it. Wears a broken Yellow Lantern ring for a while,
Does that.
gets a Green Lantern ring back.
Makes a Red Lantern ring somehow.
Well, that happened like
has both
that
of them.
happened like in like the fourth time that he lost his lantern ring.
Pretty much, yeah. He had no rings and was a guy named Warrior. That sucked.
That really did suck.
What
But
else?
whenever he was
on-
Warrior, he had a mech suit, which was really dumb.
It's kind of dumb.
He
It's kind
just
of rad.
he just self-manifested a Green Lantern ring, which then the Green Lantern ring gave him the mech suit again. Or no, was it a Yellow Lantern ring that manifests the suit? It was a Green Lantern.
It was a green one.
Yeah, it was a green one.
He was on
And
the
then-
Justice League.
He
and
was?
He was such a bitch that Batman beat him up. A man with literally no powers.
Okay. So with that, he took off the ring.
He
to
did,
fight Batman.
but if I was
Batman
about
still
to
beat
go
the shit out
fight
of him.
Batman, I would not take off my weapons.
My ring. Yeah.
Yeah, like, come on. Come on.
Let's see. During Blackest Night, whenever the Black Lanterns were rising, because the Black Lanterns,
They're like zombies.
they're zombies.
They're zombies.
Basically, a Black Lantern will attach itself to anything that has ever died, even
then
if you are
resurrect them.
resurrected. But if you have ever seen the other side of the veil, a Black Lantern ring can take hold of
Yes. Martian
you.
Manhunter.
So,
Ugh.
Superman, Batman,
Yeah.
Batman RIP just happened, so Batman was a Black Lantern.
That's true. Yeah.
but-
Batman was a Black Lantern recently. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
In
he was-
Death Metal.
Okay,
Like
I need to
about
finish Death
halfway
Metal.
through Death Metal, you see him get stabbed in the chest, and he just gets up, and they're like, "What the hell, dude?" And he goes, "Oh, I've been dead this entire time."
So he just
Like,
had a
it's like-
Black Lantern ring just on
he's-
standby.
he'd been
Why
dead
am
the
I not-
entire story.
Why am I not surprised?
Dude,
that,
Superboy Prime shows up.
Why am I not surprised that Batman just keeps a Black Lantern ring just in case?
No, he didn't keep it. Like, literally, apparently, before even issue 1 started, someone had killed him, and he'd been resurrected with a Black Lantern ring.
Fair.
Amazing.
That is
Amazing
pretty cool.
stuff.
So
And he's got a starfish for a son.
yep.
love
So during Blackest Night, though, the Black Lantern rings invaded Oa And
Yes.
the graveyard of Green Lanterns that is on Oa for every lantern
Yes.
that dies were seized by Black Lanterns. So zombie Green Lanterns, now Black Lanterns, just start massacring all of Oa, including most of the Guardians. And they kill Kyle Rayner, which makes Guy Gardner so angry that he manifests a red ring, and then he just starts basically nukes the planet with a green and red lantern. Like, just going nuts with a green and red lantern ring. And then whenever he tore everybody apart and killed them, his red lantern ring went, okay, I'm done, and disappeared. But how awesomely powerful do you have to be to manifest, not on just one occasion, but on two separate occasions, lantern rings? And that's why Guy Gardner is one of my favorite, because he is a dickbag, but he actually has some depth to him.
He's kind of cool. The next
plus
one.
He had a really hot girlfriend.
Oh, Ice.
Ice was pretty darn hot.
Ice,
and,
but she also left his dumbass.
She did, because he's a dick.
She's boning the Human Target right now.
Yeah, she killed him.
Yeah,
in Human Target. That's not canon, but
read Human Target. It's great.
Human Target, great. Tom
really
King.
Tom King. Greg Smallwood's doing it like I Dream of Genie-esque art. It's really good.
It's really good. Yeah. But so Guy Gardner, cool guy, but a dick also, and it has probably the best story whenever it comes to the Lanterns, just because
I wouldn't
it's
say
all
that
over the place. Hal Jordan's a basic bitch.
Hal Jordan's a basic bitch, but also he has the best Green Lantern stories. Pretty
like he has the okay. So as a here are comics. Here are the best Green Lantern books. The best Green Lantern books are primarily, I would say 8 out of 10 of them are Hal Jordan.
Exactly, yeah. John Stewart, who is the next one. John Stewart's the best character out of all of them.
John Stewart
is the best character.
John Stewart, if you ask me what the best Green Lantern is.
My favorite Green Lantern.
It's John Stewart.
John Stewart's great.
I like Guy Gardner so much because he has a crazy backstory and he's a dick. But John Stewart is the man. He used to be in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, was an architect. The run that he came from, the Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams run, was kind of the best of the time. It really, there was nothing quite like it at the time. It was Green Lantern, Green Arrow, actually. And it was very progressive, it was very liberal, very down to earth. It's partially why they introduced an African-American Green Lantern, because they wanted some more diversity in a book besides, a white guy and a white guy with a Robin Hood goatee. It's good stuff, though.
However, Green Arrow, Green Lantern books were really good.
They're so
But they're all
good.
actually, what's funny is in numbering, they're all Green Lantern books.
Yes, they technically count as green, because it's Green Lantern featuring Green Arrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're all Green Lantern books because neither character was thought to be able to carry a line by themselves.
No, the Green Lantern books were not doing as well as previously. Green Arrow
had already been shit on, so...
Yeah, even then, though, this book was mega critically acclaimed, really, really good, and they canceled that, too. Got canceled, I think, not even 100 issues in. And Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams went and made a Batman and Ra's al Ghul, and as Grant Morrison calls it, sexy James Bond Batman. Because, he's always the shirtless with the chest hair, and he's still wearing the cowl and sword fighting. Sexy James Bond Batman.
Sexy James Bond Batman.
It's good stuff. Yeah. But, John Stewart, he was the Green Lantern of the Justice League animated series. He was fantastic in that. He's just a good character. He's just good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he's the most stable and secure and the most sane one, which that tells you that comics are fiction, because anytime you say the Marine is the most sane one in the bunch, we're in for a freaking surprise.
Yeah. He's an architect. He's a man of order,
Okay, anytime that the Marine is more stable than the airman, we have problems.
True. Yeah, true. Ridiculous.
that comes straight from the Marine's mouth. Anytime that we're the freaking source of logic, you need to stay away from that.
When you think about Hal Jordan was basically Maverick from Top Gun before
Maverick,
Yeah. I love Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan is great.
He's great.
I don't think there's a Green Lantern that I don't like.
No, even
Kyle Rayner can be a bit of a bitch, but...
but even then, he's had such good character growth. Yeah, he's amazing. He invented fridging. It's great stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's not great stuff. That's the whole point. It's not great stuff. But it's great stuff.
I don't know, BDSM Green Lantern, I don't know how I feel about him.
It's fine. It's fine.
Jessica Cruz is pretty cool.
I like Jessica Cruz. She's great.
She's great.
Yeah. They're all right. Man, how about Gannat? I love Gannat. Kilowog,
Kilowog, top tier
like
Green
the
Lantern.
best. He's like basically their Bane Grimm.
Chris,
I love that
Chris,
guy.
what? Wait, what? Oh, BDSM
Which
Green
part?
Lantern.
Oh, Chip's great too.
Chip is great. I think she's saying wait what whenever I said BDSM Green. Okay, so
Probably.
what is what's his name?
Simon
Is it Simon?
Bass.
Yeah, Simon
Yeah,
Bass.
Simon Bass. Yeah,
Simon Baz is a Green Lantern, and he looks like he is wearing a modified gimp suit.
A little bit.
I mean, there's
But
no.
he's not a bad character.
He's not a bad character. He's not a
Yeah.
bad character. His book is pretty solid. His
it's not what you
introduction
would
is
think
solid.
it'd be. Yeah.
But the suit is so ungodly goofy
It's weird.
that everybody just refers to him as Kink Suit Green Lantern.
Yeah. It's great.
Um,
That's pretty great.
Family friendly show here, guys.
Yeah, totally. It's good stuff. Who's next? Well, we got. Well, I guess we should talk about Kyle.
Yeah, let's talk about Kyle. I'm gonna see
Kyle.
if I can show off. I think we might have one of his figures over here.
Oh, no way. That'd be great. So, Kyle Rayner. In the 90s, the time of the worst stuff, there was a Green Lantern story that was also the worst, and it was called 0 Hour. So, this comes off of Death of Superman, a cyborg Superman, who's like a Superman Terminator who's pretending to be Superman, came and just wrecked the shit out of Green Lantern City and, like, killed everybody. And Hal was obviously not happy with that, and he kind of started to lose his marbles a little bit. So he tried to resurrect the city through the Green Lantern ring, and it sort of worked. And all the other Green Lanterns went, hey, that's not cool, man. We're going to come stop you from doing that. And he decided to kill all of his team, like all the other Green Lanterns, like every single one. There's a really famous cover where he's doing a real evil face, and he's got all the Green Lantern rings on his fingers. And he became possessed by the entity of fear, Parallax, who's like the power source for the Yellow Lanterns. And he basically killed all the Green Lanterns, and then he fought the Justice League and everybody else, a big crisis event, as they called them. And it in the kind of middle towards the end, the last Guardian left alive came and gave the last Green Lantern rings, this was a special thing in case of emergencies for the last one. And he gave it to this artist named Kyle Rayner. And as opposed to the other rings, how the rings choose their wearer as a person with great willpower, he was just this guy. He was just this guy that they needed to do this. And he wasn't even a guy with amazing willpower. He was just the dude they found. And he's great. He was an artist. A neat kind of convention of the time was because he was an artist, they would not... The editorial had this rule where he could not make the same construct twice. So every time he made something, it was different than anything he made before, even in 12 issues past. Like if he made a gun, it's the last time he's going to be making a gun. It's really interesting stuff.
It is a crazy kind of restriction to put on him. So
it is, but it makes
going over
good
the
stuff,
different lanterns. So I mean, we have Alan Scott. If you're not familiar with
yeah.
him,
That's Alan Scott.
that's Alan Scott with
Oh, they
his
have
battery.
classic Sandman figures.
Yeah, the
And Starman.
Yeah, the JSA. These we got these figures
That's
in a
great.
collection a while back. So
Yeah.
they are
That's good
gently
stuff.
loved. So
Oh, they're
you
on the
got
back.
you've got your Alan Scott.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. You've got your traditional Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan.
Everybody knows Hal Jordan. You know
Is
Hal
that New
Jordan.
52?
Yeah, it is New 52. Hal
Oh.
Jordan. But you know, whatever.
Boo!
It's Hal Jordan. Hey, New 52
so
was
true.
good for a whole 4 issues.
It was good for some
Mr. John
people.
Stewart, Simplify,
The best, and from the animated series.
and from the Justice
Good
League
stuff.
animated series. So
Good stuff.
really cool.
Love it.
But here is the one that we were questioning that a lot of people don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
Mr. Simon Baz. He carries an actual pistol, and
Oh yeah, he carries a gun. I forgot about that.
But
yeah,
yeah.
that part's not good though. The gun part's not good.
yeah, but that's what he looks like, Chris. So yes, a lot of comic book enthusiasts just call it the Gimp Suit Green Lantern.
Yes.
There's a picture of him all, yeah. And honestly, like,
He's not a bad character though.
he's not a terrible character.
he's actually a pretty good character.
His first appearance, or the first time he was on the cover of a book, because I mean, of course, like most comics, cameo appearance, and then first full appearance, he was on the cover.
It's New 52.
Yeah, it was New
Yeah,
52.
it was New 52. Yeah.
It looked so goofy whenever those came into comic shops.
Yeah.
Like I remember,
looked bad.
I
Yeah.
remember whenever they came into the comic shop that I frequented back then. It was so hilarious that literally, like, my comic guy Jason was just like, "Hey man, you got to see this silliness," and I was like, "Okay."
ridiculous.
He goes, "You like your lanterns, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're not gonna like this one."
Well, they were kind of trying, like,
They were trying
new
to do-
different designs.
yeah.
Because Jessica Cruz has got that weird mask, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. And they toned
Hers looks
down
a little
Jessica
bit better.
Cruz. Yeah, like I like Jessica Cruz a lot more
She's
than
great.
Simon Baz. Like Jessica
Everyone
Cruz
does.
yeah, Simon Baz.
He's not bad, but he's not the best. Jessica's pretty great.
Jessica's pretty great, yeah.
great.
Um,
I think there's probably still the two. I put Jessica above Guy, but I'd say the rest are
I'm
better.
not gonna
Yeah.
argue that. I will
Kyle's
never.
great.
I'll never argue that as long as you say like as long as you say either Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart is the best Green Lantern, I
Yeah.
won't ever argue with you.
Yeah. Honestly, even if someone like said Kyle and like actually did the argument,
had a
like,
good
knew
argument,
their stuff for it,
then okay,
you can't really hate on
sure.
that because Kyle was pretty great.
Kyle
you
was
know?
pretty great,
He was the
but-
last White Lantern. He alone mastered all the different emotional spectrums. He
Yes,
was pretty
yes,
awesome.
There was, what was it? There was another ring that it doesn't count as a power ring because it's all the rings in one. But it's not the White Lantern. It's
Yeah. Well,
I don't
that's
remember.
Ion.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
Ion. Okay,
But
so
that
there's
ring was
Ion.
destroyed.
Yeah. So
But that ring was destroyed.
it was destroyed. What's the Ion guy's name? Not when
don't
Kyle was Ion, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't remember.
Okay, so back in the 80s, Alan Moore, the writer of Watchmen, he did 2 Green Lantern stories, like little weird backup stories in the Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, which is like anthology books. One of them was called Mojo Doesn't Socialize, which introduced to us the planet Green Lantern, Mojo. The other one...
Not to be confused with the evil monkey from Powerpuff Girls.
Yes, pretty close though. The other one was called In Blackest Night, and it was about a blind Green Lantern and his prophecies of the future, and that there would be one Green Lantern who would be greater than all of them, who would be more powerful than Superman even without the ring. And I can't remember his name, even though he's mega important, but that guy is called Ion. Again, real name, I can't remember. He's a Daxamite, which they're basically like Kryptonians if they didn't have a red sun weakness or kryptonite. Kryptonians but cracked. And he also became a Green Lantern, and then Ion, like the greatest of all lanterns. And that guy's terrifying. He's also not a very nice guy. He was like Superman but mean. I really like that guy. He was pretty cool. That Twilight of the Superhero story, the Alan Moore lost one, in that story, that it ended with that guy killing Superman. Pretty sick. Pretty good stuff. Yeah. But after that guy was Ion, Kyle Rayner was Ion, because Kyle Rayner is awesome. He's just a good boy. We need to protect him. Because DC isn't doing it right now, man. They're trashing him right now. It's terrible. It's like what was happening to Wally West a few years ago.
Wally
So
West
yeah.
deserves to be shit on, though.
No, he doesn't. He's the best Flash. He's
All
so much
Flashes-
better than Barry.
All Flashes deserve to be shit on.
I would agree, except for Wally. I love Wally.
Okay, I'll give you Wally.
I love Wally. He's so good.
As long as Wally will put on a fucking hat. And goofy hair sticking out.
I like the sock mask. Like, I don't like it on Gambit. You know, the sock mask.
I think
that
Gambit's
thing.
the only one who makes it work.
Nah, I think Wally West. His
It's
little
the
red hair
glowing
poking out
eyes.
the top.
The glowing eyes make Gambit's work.
Yeah, I guess. I like Gambit in his dirty T-shirt. Honestly, yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. But yeah, after Kyle, it's really Simon and Jessica. They were introduced during New 52. They're both pretty good. Jessica in particular has had a lot of
Really
recent
good stuff.
fame.
She's been
Yeah.
running it. She has her own. Well, I think
She
she
had that,
just ended her run.
Yeah, and they had that
Um,
Far Sector miniseries
yep.
that won a bunch of awards that was about her. She was
That,
in
the
the
artwork on
League of
that one
Super
was
Pets.
beautiful.
Really good art. Well, Green Lantern historically.
Did you watch
usually
League of
really
Super
good art.
Pets without me?
No, I haven't. I really
Okay,
want
I
to
was
see
about
it.
to say.
I really want to see it. Actually, there is for anyone who wants to read Green Lantern, but obviously it's been going since the 50s, so it's kind of tough to get into there. There was a set of standalone graphic novels called Earth One, and it was kind of a new, more modernized takes on a lot of heroes, like the Batman Earth One. One was kind of like really back to basics Batman, and
The Superman one was
it was
really
alright.
solid.
The Superman one was it was something.
It-
It was
it
it was
didn't-
the basis for Man
okay,
of Steel. A lot of it.
It has 3 volumes.
It
We
has
don't
3
need
volumes.
3 volumes.
No, we really
Volume
don't.
1 was good. Volume 2 was
Well, they were all
readable
supposed to
and-
be 3. You know.
Yeah.
The best one easily was Green Lantern.
Yeah.
and it actually got canceled, so it didn't even get its third volume. But the first two are so magnificent. Gabriel Hardman wrote and drew it. It's basically Hal Jordan, instead of being a pilot, he was he did like a resource gathering on the moon.
Okay.
And one day they found a alien spaceship with a dead lantern inside of it, and he picked up the ring and, became a Green Lantern. But the core didn't exist like it did now. They were more scattered and like through remnants, like they had been killed long ago by the Manhunters. And it was about them kind of bringing the core back together and defeating the Manhunters. And then Volume 2 was about the Guardians seeing that this was happening and making the Yellow Lanterns to prevent that from happening again. It's really good. It's a very unique take. The art is incredible. If you want to read Green Lantern but don't want to deal with 70 years of continuity, they're great. 2 little standalone graphic novels. Fantastic. Yeah, good stuff. Really.
And honestly, the biggest secret that I always tell people, and I tell them this on a daily basis, whenever it comes to getting into comics, the best thing to do is, what do you think's cool? And just pick it up and start.
Yeah.
Because
read the miniseries, read the standalones. Those are usually the best way to get into
That's
them.
the easiest way to get stories. But if you want, like, if I wanted to start reading Batman, tell you what, just here's Batman. Just jump
Batman
in.
Year One, Dark Knight Returns. Read the miniseries.
Just if you want to have an ongoing comic experience, yes, the standalones. I absolutely love the standalones because they are a great place to get good stories for your character. But if you want to get into comics on that weekly basis,
getting the ongoings,
then just grab a book. Don't give 2 shits what issue it is.
Jump in.
You don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of like whenever you go to a party and you don't really know too much of anybody. The only way to become friends is just insert yourself and be the weird guy for a few minutes of not knowing what's going on, and then learning the little bit of the story, and then you'll be fine. In within 3 to 4 issues, you'll be an expert.
First solo Superman book I ever read was like Action 820, something like that. And I loved it. And it was in the middle of Metropolis being destroyed and Brainiac and stuff. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I had no idea what was happening.
In today's episode of How is Chandler going to make Charles feel fucking ancient again? There you go.
Sorry, man.
It's fine.
It's a good book.
It is a good book. But yeah, so we went through all of our years of lanterns.
Yeah. If you were gonna read stuff, read Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. It's great. Relaunched Hal is the main one.
And I'll say we've shit on Jeff Johns a lot on this show.
I'll shit on Jeff Johns personally
and we will,
right now.
But Jeff Johns does have some really good stuff, including his run on Green Lantern.
His Green Lantern run's really good, actually.
And he gave us Blackest Night.
He gave us most of the other colors.
Sad thing is he did also give us Brightest Day, and I'm kind of mad at him for that.
Great.
That's whenever I learned Jeff Johns is not a deity. He is
Infinite
merely
Crisis.
a man. He was merely a man.
The man made Infinite Crisis.
He did.
And I fucking hate that book.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, there's the Jeff Johns. I read those 2 Alan Moore stories. They're fantastic. The Neil Adams,
Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
Really, really good. The
great part about that stuff, the great part about the Green Lantern, Green Arrow stuff, is that it happened in a time of overproduction. So excluding a couple of key issues, they're dollar fodder. So you can
Jon
find
Stewart's
them.
first appearance is worth money, but besides that, I think they're pretty much just a few dollar books. Yeah. Not bad at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
So
Jon Stewart first appearance though, that's some good money right there. It's at least like $300 book.
Yes, I know, Chris. That was probably the introvert's worst nightmare of just jumping in. But you know what? Comics don't yell back at you.
No.
And you don't have to feel awkward with the comic books because they're awkward too. They'll just be weird with you.
Yeah.
So now that we've talked about the glorious, glorious Green Lantern comics, who have had ups and downs, now it's time to talk about Green Lantern on the screen, which, excluding animation, which the animation for the most part, we'll touch on that real quick. So
the animation's
Green Lantern,
Justice
League show, John
Real
that was
good.
great. His appearances in Superman animated
it was
really
Hal
good.
Jordan in the Superman cartoon.
It was Hal Jordan in the Superman cartoon and John Stewart in Justice League. So yeah.
Great. I've heard that because there's a new movie, right?
Yes, I've heard it was really good. I
I've
haven't
heard it's
gotten to
very
watch
good
it
as
yet.
well. Yeah, it's Jon Stewart too.
Yes, yeah. One of my friends just watched it, said it was really good.
I need to watch that. Yeah.
Honestly, all of the animated Green Lantern movies have been pretty
He had
solid.
that solo show that
Yes,
Darwin
so-
Cook did the art for
Okay,
it,
so there was a
too.
solo
Yeah.
show, and I
Lasted
actually
one season.
It
Yeah.
did. I actually watched that I think it came out on Fridays on Cartoon Network.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Me and the boys, whenever they were, God, this show came out like 12 years ago.
It was like 2009, I want to
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Like we watched it every Friday. That was our Friday night routine.
Yeah.
Was watching the Green Lantern show.
It's pretty solid.
It was a really
pretty
solid
good.
show, and we were
Yeah.
all sad whenever it got canceled because
Like, it's just
it
kinda
also
ramped
ended
up
on
to
a
most
it also ended on a cliffhanger.
It did, yeah. It did.
And it ended on a
Yeah.
good cliffhanger. So, but yeah, so it's worth
a
going
shame.
back and hunting down and seeing it, and then being heartbroken that it ended on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
And then I will say that Justice Society: New Frontier, where it was Alan Scott, that movie sucked.
that movie sucked.
That
The New
movie
Frontier.
sucked.
You ever read the comic?
Yes, the comic's good.
Yeah, the Darwin Cook. It's really good.
The comic's really good.
It's really,
The
really
movie's
good. I like it. I mean, they cut out quite a bit, particularly the war era stuff, like with the.
They cut out the cool parts.
Yeah, how it starts with like this is from the losers. Like that's that I always.
But anyway, yeah. So, and you know what? I can see where you would like New Frontier. I just didn't.
like New Frontier.
I thought it was boring,
Yeah.
and it cut out the good stuff from the comic. But
yeah,
all in all,
the comic's amazing.
animated Green Lantern. I want to say Green Stewart.
Green Stewart.
Green Stewart. Animated Green Lantern across the board is pretty solid.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Now we have seen live action Green Lantern in 2 times in cinematic history.
One of them was a blip in the Snyderverse. It's barely worth talking about. There was a dude who flew down, got murdered, and the ring flew away.
Yep,
it was basically
there
nothing.
He is. So a cameo in a slog of a movie that takes 4 hours to experience. I say it's worth watching. He says it's terrible.
It's not. It's
I'm
like
probably
it's polishing
never
a turd.
going. Yeah, it's polishing a turd. I'm never going to
Making
watch
it longer.
I would probably say I'm not going to watch it again.
Why would you? It's 4 hours.
But the first time I enjoyed it better than the theatrical version.
I like the Flash sneaking hot dogs out of midair. I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yep.
That's about it.
However, it is now time to talk about everyone's favorite man crush, Ryan Reynolds.
He's pretty good. I do like Ryan.
I love Ryan
He's
Reynolds.
Great. He's great.
And the greatest thing about the Green Lantern movie that Ryan Reynolds was in, other than Ryan Reynolds as himself, was how much in Deadpool he makes fun of it.
Yeah. You were Taika Waititi's in that movie.
He is.
He's the best friend.
Yeah.
He's the one who's going, whoa, look at the suit.
Yeah,
He's
but of
that
course,
guy.
also like that wasn't him getting to be creative. It was just him being kind of goofy.
Yeah.
You
remember, like,
so I will say this is the one thing I will defend the Ryan Reynolds movie about.
Yeah.
It's a kids movie.
I guess. But like,
I mean, compare it to everything. Like
it's a kids movie on the level of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, if
Yeah.
that works. Yeah.
like if you're like because you also got to realize when it came out, 2010.
09, I think.
09,
I'm pretty
09.
Sure. Yeah.
So-
actually, it was definitely 09 because that and the animated show
Okay, yeah.
launched at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it brought a lot of people back to comics.
Sure. It also drove a lot of people away from comics.
It did.
Yeah.
But this is what I'll say about
killed
that.
Green Lantern for
It did.
years.
It destroyed the
Years.
opportunity to have a Green Lantern follow-up movie and
Green
to get
Lantern's
it back.
such a good character.
Now this is
Yeah.
what I'll say.
Kilowog's good.
Kilowog is great in that movie. Mm-hmm. As a family-friendly superhero movie, it was watchably dumb.
It's not offensively bad
As
if you don't know anything about Green Lantern.
as a Green
Yeah.
Lantern movie,
It's offensively
it's
bad.
offensively bad.
Yeah. It makes you want to kick stuff.
It does.
Who is the villain again? It's that guy who, like, Hammond or whatever?
It's so Parallax
Hector Hammond.
is yes.
It's Hector Hammond with Parallax making his head bigger. Literally.
It
Like,
was
just-
until he blew
he's
up and
just
became
screaming.
until his head blew up and he became a storm monster.
Yeah, it became
it-
but they didn't even do, like, you know how Parallax is just a giant bug? They didn't even do that. I would love to see the giant bug, man. I'd love to see the giant. It's so weird and comic-y. Like, it's a giant bug that's yellow.
But I will
they
also
made it so much worse than that.
But
It's so
I will
sucks.
I will reiterate my same Watchmen argument. In 2009, we were not ready for a giant bug on the screen.
See, that's the thing. Wait,
However,
you don't need to hold an audience's hand. Audiences are smarter than we give them credit for.
Not in
if you just,
2009, bro.
If you just go for it and give them something, because think about all the classic movies. They're not giving you something you expect or think you're ready for. It's giving you something new and different and exciting. So put squids and stuff, put giant bugs and stuff, and take them seriously. Because man, people in the '80s appreciated giant squids and
No,
thought
we
it was the
didn't.
most serious comic of all time. Literally.
but in the theaters they didn't.
Yeah, that's because they didn't trust the audience enough. Zack Snyder, you gump, making terrible Superman movies. The man doesn't understand Superman. How's he gonna understand Watchmen? That's stupid. Superman's so much simpler. Superman's a nice guy. And you Watchmen, terrible, awful. I hate you, Zack Snyder. I hate you. Deep down. I don't even like your other movies. Get fucked. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done. Green Lantern's not very good either. He didn't make it, but it's not very good. I think it's still his fault, but it's fine.
So we found a reason to talk about Death of Superman and how much Zack Snyder sucks.
Yeah.
It's not a Charles and Chandler show if we don't talk about those things.
I hate that guy.
And Miracle
Everybody
Man.
who ever said restore the Snyderverse needs to get out of here. You don't know. It's terrible. I shouldn't. I'm gonna stop. It's fine. I'm very angry inside. It's fine.
The smiles fool us all. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm grumpy and he's happy. I'm grumpy just outwardly, and inwardly I'm like, you know what? I'm grumpy, and I just let people know it. And he's grumpy on the inside, but smiles on the outside. That's why everybody likes us as a pairing. That's why we're out here. So I can tell you the way the world
Green
works, and
Lantern.
he can smile at you about it.
But yeah.
Anyway.
Green Lantern. The
Green
movie
Lantern,
sucks.
the movie does. The movie
Actually,
does suck.
Literal best thing about that movie? Mark Strong is actually a very good Sinestro and like the best pick ever. Like that he looks like Sinestro. He's got the forehead for it. He's got the ridges. Guy's amazing.
Wasn't even wearing makeup.
Nah, they just took him out of a tanning bed and threw him in the movie. It's great.
And it did reiterate, it did reinforce Ryan Reynolds as being a lovable smartass that can carry
yeah.
a superhero movie, and then we got Deadpool
Totally.
because of it.
Yeah. His he met his wife on the set of the movie
He
too.
did.
Yeah. They've been
absolutely
married
did.
since.
Yeah, they
They have
have
like
2 or 3 kids.
They got like 4 or 5 kids. I think they had
mean-
another one on the way.
I mean, look at those two. Wouldn't you have a lot of kids?
Oh hell yeah, beautiful couple. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
fantastic. Good on you guys. Y'all are great. I love y'all both. Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Green Lantern movie sucked. Gave us one of Hollywood's power couples, and
Killed the Green Lantern brand for
A
years.
while.
Yeah. Even
mean,
the comics were
yeah,
kind of like.
even the comics
should we do
kinda-
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
because that was like the comics were riding high because we were in the middle of Blackest Night.
Yeah. Blackest Night had like just ended around that time.
So
yeah.
everybody, all the Green Lantern fans had come back because Blackest Night was so good, and then
Yeah.
Brightest Day was so bad, and it ran us all back off.
And the movie was
And
bad
the movie
immediately
was
after that.
really bad.
Yeah. And then
so,
Jeff had to come in and reboot it again in New 52 time, and that was it was fine. It was good.
It was fine.
good.
Yeah, no, it was good.
wasn't bad.
I mean, you
Yeah.
had Sinestro came back as a Green Lantern. You had the Green Lantern Corps with Guy and freaking
Yeah.
John Stewart running
And
around.
they got rid of the core at one point, and Hal Jordan was wearing a hood and being all edgy and a renegade and stuff, and that was actually kind of a good time.
And then they rebuilt the
Yeah.
Corps, and yeah,
And
no,
Hal Jordan became the God of Light for a single issue. That's a fantastic issue of comics. That's a really good issue.
So
Yeah.
Green Lantern had some highs, had some lows, had
Yeah.
some great members, has some shitty members, have some great members with shitty costumes.
Mm-hmm.
All in all,
There's also a squirrel named Chip,
there is a squirrel named Chip.
and he's fantastic.
He is the best Lantern.
Probably.
Yep, because he hasn't done anything to make any of us mad,
No.
and he hasn't had bad writing at any time.
Kilowog also. Never had him.
Kilowog, yep,
Kilowog's
Kilowog's-
always been amazing.
Everybody's favorite giant sentient pig.
God, he's good. He's
He is really good.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, that
Green Lantern's great.
Mostly covers it, yeah.
I think we've talked extensively about Green Lantern.
Yeah. Great villain, Sinestro. Sinestro's amazing. Atrocitus. Oh, we didn't really talk about the other color. We mentioned them.
Oh, we did. We
Yeah.
did.
Atrocitus, one of the best villains ever. He's the main Red Lantern. their constructs are made out of them vomiting blood, and then they make stuff out of it, and it's great. He's also got a cat best friend.
He does have a cat best friend.
He's the only one. They're the only ones worth mentioning.
Yep.
Yeah. And at times, Guy Gardner.
Yep.
And Hal Jordan one time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, your Orange Lantern.
Ones. It's just the one guy, Larfleeze.
Yep. Yep.
Because it's all about greed.
Yep. He looks
He's
like,
the only one.
he looks like knockoff Beta Ray Bill.
He looks like a praying mantis who's just been shriveled a bit. Yeah.
With a long snout.
Yeah. Kind of a larger head.
He looks like if Beta Ray Bill got on some meth.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
The
The blue ones are hippies. Or not the blue
ones are
the
hopeful.
indigo ones are hippies.
Indigo
Indigos
are compassionate hippies,
Yes,
and
they
have
they don't have rings, they have staffs. Yeah, exactly.
They do have rings, but the staff is where they gain their power instead
Yes,
of they don't
yeah.
have traditional lanterns.
The blue ones are just nice people.
Yep.
They're just nice guys.
They're just nice guys. They're
Yellow
happy.
ones are dicks.
Yellow ones are dicks. They are
Run by
'cause-
Sinestro.
Yep. At one point, Batman was a Yellow Lantern.
Yeah, he's been a Yellow Lantern a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's also been a White Lantern, which was weird, but whatever.
Yeah. He was a Green Lantern one time where he killed a bunch of people.
Yep, and then became a White Lantern.
Yeah. What was the other ones? The pink is most famous for Star Sapphire.
Yes.
And it's love.
Well,
with
it's actually
obsession love.
so it's not Pink Lantern. It is Star Sapphire.
Yes.
And the main
But they are
character
part
is
of
Star
the wheel.
But they are a wheel. It is a Pink
Yeah.
Lantern technically because they do have a power battery on their planet.
Yes.
And the main Star Sapphire that comes to Earth and
it's Carol.
regularly has fun time with Hal.
Yeah, because it's Carol.
And it is it's Carol.
Yeah.
It's
It's usually his wife.
Yeah.
And she's like, they're like a stone that like gets pressed in their forehead, and it like sort of not possesses them, but drives them to their worst kind of extents.
But whenever they
yeah.
pass them out, they have been represented as rings also.
Yes. Yeah. They're mostly
But it's
right
mostly
there
the
in the
stone
forehead.
in the forehead.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like Star Sapphire.
Yeah, Star Sapphire. Yeah.
That's most of them. We already talked about the black ones, Necron, Black Hand.
Necron
White
has a
Lanterns.
scythe with his power.
He
power.
does.
He is
Yeah,
awesome.
He's pretty cool.
Necron is one of my favorite bad guys in the DC universe.
That's pretty much it. Orange, yellow.
There's
red,
no real blue main guy. There's the Blue Lantern blue guy.
Yeah, but
But
you
just-
see him like a couple times.
Yeah.
He's not really important.
No, he looks like Squidward.
The White Lanterns were important for a hot second, and then it was only Kyle, and he had mastered every color, so he accessed every color of the spectrum. And then DC went, "Oh, that's too powerful and complicated. We're gonna write that out," and that's not a thing anymore.
That's pretty much
It's stupid. That should still be a thing.
But yeah, so all the lanterns are fun. Maybe one day we'll do a little tear down on. But honestly, because there's so many lanterns and a lot of them weren't introduced until or weren't given any kind of story, and a few of them were even introduced during Blackest Night.
Yeah.
There's less than 10 years worth of stuff on them. So
Yeah.
and some
Yeah,
of them just don't even get any information past this exists. Like I
Pretty
can't
much.
think of outside of like the main issues and like one tie-in of any information on Indigo.
Oh no, they
Indigo
really
Indigo has appeared in like a grand total of
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 comics. Period.
The only ones that have gotten actual like growth and development have been Yellow, obviously, because they're the main antagonists. Star Sapphires, they've been around since like
Since
the
the 60s.
70s, yeah, 60s, yeah.
Red.
The Reds, because they're awesome. They're so cool. And the orange one had some
Yeah.
stuff for a hot minute.
Yeah, he got
but
his own book for a while.
Yeah, like they like there was a good like solid 3 or so years where they popped up a lot, and then just not really since then. Yeah.
Yep.
Again, it is only one guy, so there's not much you can do with that. But yeah, the other ones, the blue ones and
You
the
say only
hippies
one
are-
guy, but Superman and Batman have been around since the 1940s.
Yeah, but they also
in
have
1930s.
like we also got Jimmy Olsen and Robin and Lois Lane and
How do
all
you-
those people have had their own books.
how do you
Yeah.
How do you know that crackhead Beta Ray Bill doesn't have friends?
He doesn't. He's all about greed. He takes everything from his friends.
Well, you can collect friends too.
The Orange Lanterns,
I
there
know,
was a
I'm
bunch.
just-
He killed all of them.
Yeah,
he
he
killed them. He
really
took
is.
their stuff. He's a rude boy.
He is
It's
a rude
not
boy.
cool. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
That's about it.
That's
Green
about
Lantern.
it. We could
Yeah.
ramble about stupidity like we normally do.
It's comics. We've read too many, and it's
have.
gotta go somewhere,
Yep,
you know?
it's got to go somewhere. So we word vomit it onto the little pinhole on my phone, and yep, and y'all
Yeah.
for some reason listen to it.
Read some Green Lantern though. It's really good.
Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, pick up any Green Lantern and just go to town because Green Lantern's a lot of fun.
The Green Lantern Dark Side of War special. Don't read the Dark Side of War because it's not very good, but the special's great.
And go get yourself a Green Lantern gimp suit.
Yeah, have some fun with it. In the only way you can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Run around with a Green Lantern ring on.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's gonna be great.
It is. Anyway.
All right. That's probably enough.
Pick up Death of Superman Anniversary Edition.
Read Mr. Miracle. It's great.
Can we go 1 week?
You're talking about your
Death
of
of
Superman.
But it's actually here.
So?
Like it's
Mine's actually, it's over there.
Yes, but this is a actual release this week.
So what?
The one time. One time that we will ever do this show that I can talk about Death of Superman and not be dumb. You gotta be Mr. Miracle. Don't forget
it's
Mr. Miracle. Don't forget Mr. Miracle.
Because it's the best book that's
Don't
ever been
forget Mr.
published
Miracle.
ever.
Death of Superman.
Ever.
Death of Superman.
Also, read some Green Lantern. There's like a lot of good comics.
There
So
are
many
lots
good ones.
of really good Green Lantern
Yeah.
comics.
Earth
1's great.
That Dark Side War
Blackest
special.
Night is
Blackest Night.
excellent.
Green
Skip Brightest Day.
Lantern
You don't
Rebirth
care.
and
Rebirth.
The whole run after that.
Even
other good ones.
even New 52 Green Lantern is solid.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
Hal
While
got
Jeff
a good
Johns was
story.
writing it.
Yeah, Hal got a good story. John and Guy got good stories.
Green Lantern Rebirth, the other one from later, is also good.
Yes, there's lots of good Green Lantern.
Lots of good Green Lantern. That's one of the few titles you could probably pick up at really any time and be pretty. Because even
There's
90s
not
Green
even
Lantern
there's not
was
even
good.
like there's not there. I will say there's no bad Green Lantern
Not
stuff.
really. No.
There's
no.
not as good Green Lantern, but it is one of those things that consistently since the 1970s has been pretty solid.
In the 90s when everything sucked, Green Lantern was
Green
actually
Lantern's
pretty,
still
solid.
fun, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is
so was
weird.
Him and Flash are really similar because Flash was also really good during that time. Yeah, it was. William Messner Loebs, and then an early little editor who got to work on his first ever book at DC by the name of Mark Waid got to write Flash. And he's the reason why he's popular. It's good. That's Flash. That's for another time.
That is for another time.
What are we doing next week?
Next week,
You want to go back to Marvel?
we need to go back to Marvel because certain people that occasionally watch our show keep on yelling at me that we don't do enough on Marvel.
Because they're not as good. Let's do the big new book for this week. You're passing it. Let's do that.
You want to do that?
I do want to do that. It's the one with the richest history.
Okay.
Let's do it. We're gonna do Fantastic Four.
We're going to do the first family of comics.
The
Fantastic
Four.
Four.
First official Marvel comic ever. Also, the new title's out tomorrow, or not tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I've already read this issue. It's fantastic. It's not even a Fantastic Four story. It's a story about Ben and Alicia, and it's so sweet. It was really nice. Really, really good.
So-
Didn't start with even a giant, big old fight in New York or Galactus or anything. It starts with Ben and Alicia on vacation, and the whole story's about them on vacation. And it was very sweet. It's very nice.
So next week we're going to
Fantastic
talk
Four.
about the first family of comics.
Guess what shirt I'm wearing
Fantastic Four.
today? Yeah. I love it. Fantastic Four. It's awesome. They're the best.
Damntastic horror.
For Fantastic Four, yes.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
So next week we'll do Fantastic Four. So I will tell you that. Let's see. So the next week is going to be a little bit wacky. The next month actually is going to be a little bit wacky around here
Conventions and such.
at Geek Out. So tomorrow I won't be in store. And I don't know if we're doing the show tomorrow night. I have to talk to Emery and see if she wants to. But we are going to, if Emery wants to do the show, then we will be doing our discussion on, other than Tuesday Night Treasure normally stuff. Me and Emery will be talking about found footage films.
That's right. Bad horror
because
movies.
Some of them are really good, dude.
Chronicle's really good.
Chronicle is really good.
Chronicle's
Not
really
a horror movie, but it is a really good found
It's
footage
got some
film.
scary stuff, though.
It does have some creepy stuff, but
Yeah.
not a horror movie.
Totally.
I did watch one today that I want my 90 minutes back, though. But we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we have a show tomorrow, found footage after new Marvel and independent stuff. And so Wednesday, I'm taking my happy self to Dallas with a handful of the rest of the crew for BGG which stands for Board Game Geek Convention. So if you come into the shop after Wednesday, you're going to see most of our board games will be missing because we are taking them to a big giant board game convention. They will be all back on the shelves. Well, whatever we don't sell will be back on the shelves on next Monday. So have no fear. We will have board games again in the store, but we need them for a convention. And then next Monday we'll come and we'll do Fantastic Four and new merch.
Yes.
And then next Tuesday we will do a show for Marvel Independence. And if me and Emery don't see you tomorrow, then next week will be found footage. But if we do see you tomorrow, then me and Emery will do the same thing that we do, and we'll figure out what we're going to do next Tuesday. Yeah. But then the week after that is Thanksgiving. We'll have Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting.
That's going to be good.
And then the week after that, me and Kayla are going to Anime Frontier. Me, Kayla, and Mercedes are going to Anime Frontier.
Oh, Mercedes going too?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's what's up.
Yeah, I got an extra pass, so
nice.
she's joining the party.
Good stuff.
Means I can sit down more.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, got a couple of conventions coming up for the rest of the month. We got Black Friday stuff coming up, so we're gonna keep you appraised of all that cool stuff as we're able to announce what cool stuff we're doing at those cool stuffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tomorrow night I may see you, I may not, I don't know. But if I do, it'll be lovely to see you. As always, thank you for spending a little bit of time with us tonight while you listen to us ramble about our ridiculousness. That's my sidekick, Mr. I Got This Man. I'm your favorite bearded hero as always, Charles, and we will see y'all when we see you.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night, guys.
Read some Green Lantern and Mr. Miracle.
And Death of Superman Anniversary, because that's an actual current book.
Yeah.